Let's cross now live to Ramallah, where I'm joined by journalist Lee Hannon. And Lee, describe for us what you see there.
So in the last few minutes, the manhunt has taken a significant turn and right in front of us. I'm going to step out the way so we can show you what's going on here. This street now, as you see, has been cordoned off by the IDF. Barricades have been set up by youths. They are trying to raid a building and the youths are blocking them from going in. We've seen intense volleys of tear gas being thrown. Blockades are being set up by the youths here, and the IDF are taking up positions. In the past few minutes, we've seen volleys of gunfire as they're trying to clear an area. These youths here are trying to prevent them from getting to a point, and it's become the flashpoint. We believe this is connected to the manhunt for those looking for the Ofra shooters, and it's also connected to the Gavette Asaf shooting. This happened in the last 2 minutes. What you're seeing is a battalion of IDF forces come here. This is the main thoroughfare that's just about 2 kilometers away from where the clashes were earlier. But this is an intense situation that's developing as we speak, and also it's connected to the hunt for the shooters.
Lee, we're usually used to hearing about the IDF committing operations such as this in West Bank villages or towns. How common is it for an event like this to take place in Ramallah?
This is highly unusual. Don't forget, you're talking to me in a city that's a closed military zone. Nobody is allowed in or out of this city, such is the intensity of the manhunt. They are looking for the people, this Hamas cell that's connected to these shooters, and this now has become the focal point for that. You might be able to see the flames in the distance there, whereby they set up a barricade, but it's highly unusual. This is a main street in the center of Ramallah, and for this to be taking place here is a significant scene, but also it's a significant moment in the hunt for those people responsible for the shootings.
Now, Lee, you mentioned that earlier in the day there were clashes. Can you talk us through what happened?
Yes, so the clashes have been ongoing in El Bara. They seem to have calmed down. We believe there were at least 50 injuries from people from smoke inhalation. One person was shot in the foot, a 15-year-old boy, and there was also a soldier that was injured by a rock. His condition is currently unknown, but we believe that to be serious. But this, at the moment, what you're seeing is not connected to those clashes. It's connected to the hunt for the Ofra shooters and also the second shooting at the bus attack. It's an intense manhunt in a closed city where they're looking for the Hamas cell or people connected to the Hamas cell responsible for those shooting attacks, who have been on the run now for 3 days.
Lee, one can imagine that citizens of Ramallah are receiving this IDF activity today with a lot of hostility, to say the least.
Could you repeat the question? I couldn't hear it from the tear gas fire.
One could imagine that the citizens of Ramallah are not receiving this IDF operation well, maybe with a lot of hostility.
Not at all. And in fact, there's also a lot of hostility. You see, you have the group here that have barricaded themselves, but the people of the city are angry. They can't get in, they can't get out. It's a siege that's taking place on this city. And in fact, Abbas, the president, Mahmoud Abbas, has spoken about how he puts the blame at this at the hands of Israel, and saying that they are responsible for the surge in violence by what's going on. But what you have to understand is the IDF forces are trying to hunt down the people who are responsible for these shooters. And to do that, they have closed off the city, not letting any traffic in or out, just so they can simply try and track down those people who carried out those horrific shootings.
Does that include, Lee, Israelis who have visited Ramallah, as often happens? Would they also not be allowed back out?
So, as you know, Israelis are forbidden. I don't think it's against the law, but there are big signs saying it's dangerous and Israelis are forbidden from coming into the city. What happened yesterday is the Palestinian governor offered his residence to anybody who was stranded or trapped. I think there has been some cases whereby some tourists have been allowed out, But at the moment, all roads in and out of this city are closed and blocked by the IDF, and nobody can get in or out.
So the lockdown continues, and so does the manhunt, and we will, of course, keep following. Lee Hannon, thank you very much for joining us live from Ramallah this afternoon.